1, 2, 3, 4. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
It has been hit, and we are on.
Hit that thing.
I did.
I know you did.
It's Mike Marino and John King. Mike and John got it going on. MikeandJohnPodcast.com.
Right.
Remember that website.
That's true.
You know, you only have a couple days left to get in our big drawing with Cooper and Binkley Jewelers for our Christmas giveaway.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful
Mike and
piece of-
John's Gigo Holiday Giveaway.
Yes.
Just go to MikeandJohnPodcast.com. You can enter there up to 9 different ways. You can enter, and then we'll do the drawing Monday.
I'm on way number 6 right now.
You're not eligible.
I know, but I don't even, I only know one way. But
Right.
there are people that have figured out there are 9 ways
Right.
to get in on this. So get in on it.
Yeah, so get on it, people.
Yes, get it going on.
Yeah, like we do. Mike and John got it going on. Brought to you by Firehouse Doors.
That's a good name for a show.
Hey, we should do
Mike
that.
and John got
All
it
right.
going
Wow,
on.
that's a
We
nice
had a
idea.
theme song.
We do have one.
Wow, we do have it going on.
Yeah.
Coming up today, we're going to recount the recount. Counting
Right.
on
I guess that makes sense. You're right. Yeah.
Rich Perlberg.
Right.
For the less you know.
And we'll learn less. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2 Cent History coming up, and some great answers in Wednesday Night Trivia. We'll check that out after news. Brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
All right, here's what's going on. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel Tuesday filed an appeal in Livingston County Circuit Court in opposition to the Michigan Department of Corrections Parole Board's decision to parole Floyd Jarvie. The 63-year-old Jarvie pled no contest in 1994 on multiple counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, armed robbery, and felony firearm. He was sentenced to 23 to 60 years in prison, but became eligible for parole in 2014. The parole board had considered and denied Jarvie's parole multiple times since then, before finally deciding to release him in October. His victim, Wendy Jo Morrison of Brighton, has spoken out extensively about her ordeal after Jarvie kidnapped and assaulted her in 1993. She initially remained out of the spotlight, but then stepped forward in 2014 when she learned the parole board had considered his release. Morrison made an appeal to the board, and Jarvie's parole was rescinded, something she said had not happened in Michigan in 50 years. Jarvie remains an inmate at the Cooper Street Correctional Facility in Jackson until his case is adjudicated. In the aftermath of an anti-Semitic incident in an Oakland County synagogue earlier this month, Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin questioned officials with the Department of Homeland Security about the need to proactively address such threats. Slotkin, who chairs the Homeland Security Subcommittee on Intelligence and Counterterrorism, spoke to officials during a committee meeting Tuesday about the December 2nd incident at Temple Bethel in Bloomfield Hills, in which a Dearborn man harassed parents and children, making violent threats and using racial slurs towards security staff. The man, Hassan Choker, was arrested 2 days later and charged with ethnic intimidation. Slotkin questioned why DHS officials were not taking part in a meeting that was held Wednesday night for area residents, in which law enforcement officials from the local, state, and federal level were present. She further questioned why, as chair of the subcommittee, she had to go to non-governmental agencies to learn more about the Proud Boys, classified as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center, which she noted was a real problem in her district. Slotkin, who is Jewish, later posted to social media that with the threats of anti-Semitic violence growing, quote, it's critical DHS can lean in, closely monitor these risks, and work with local officials to effectively respond, end quote. And to help local veterans and their families explore their funeral benefits, the Livingston County Veterans Services Office is hosting a burial planning seminar January 18th. From burial benefits that can help service members, veterans, and their family members plan and pay for a burial or memorial service, to memorial items and possibly monetary benefits, local officials say there are many options that veterans have. The seminar will take place at the Livingston County Veterans Services Classroom January 18th at 3 p.m. You'll find details on our website, MikeandJohnPodcast.com. And that's what's going on.
And news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers. Hey, have you heard tomorrow's National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day?
I believe you mentioned that yesterday.
I did.
When you said it's coming up on Friday.
It is, and it's happening at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers. And between 4 and 6, did we mention they have treats during National Ugly Sweater Contest Day?
You
they have sweets.
Sweet treats.
With your sweaters. And a chance for you to get your picture taken with Olaf from Horse's Haven.
Kind of sweet.
Well, they got the Godiva chocolates, and it looks like they've got decorated cookies.
With ugly sweaters. Ugly sweater cookies.
Ugly sweater cookies.
I mean, it's frosting and cookies. It's not.
Well, yeah.
They didn't put wool on there or anything.
That'd be tough to palate.
That would not be sweet.
Pulling a strand out of your teeth.
That's not going to happen. No.
But it's all happening at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers between 4 and 6. So you can enter the Ugly Christmas.
Mark Binkley could barely drive a car when his
Olaf.
You're talking right over
and
Mark and Barb and
they met a long time ago.
All right, so take
2. I'm going to be quiet now.
Mark Binkley could barely drive a car when his dad bought the best jewelry store in town from Mr. Cooper. He spent a lot of time there after school and weekends, enough to know that he loved the jewelry business. Mark and his family were exiting a Sunday church service when Mark saw something more dazzling than any precious stone: Barb Lockery. Successful and beautiful was a combination too great to resist, and around Valentine's Day, a nervous and pale Mark Binkley asked Barb Lockery to be his bride. They were married in the rustic, cozy church sanctuary where they met, and decided to build Cooper and Binkley Jewelers together. You'll see them there every day, working hard just like you, helping people make special times in their lives even more special, with a gift from Cooper and Binkley. They'd love to hear your stories of romance at Cooper and Binkley Diamond Jewelers in lovely downtown Brighton.
Okay.
Did take 2 get taken?
Yes, it did.
Okay, good. We're covered then?
Yeah.
Thanks for making that happen.
You're welcome.
You're smooth as a baby's bottom. All right, so last night in trivia, did you take a look at the question?
I did.
Did you answer it in your head before you looked at the answer?
I did.
All right.
I did not until I saw what the answer was. The answer didn't surprise me, but there are a lot of things that could possibly be
a 50-50 thing. Yeah. And last night's Wednesday night trivia brought to you by real estate agent Tanya Zirkle from Sold by Tanya Z.
That's right. Motto: comfort is the key to home.
According to a recent holiday questionnaire. Like how I changed up the survey thing there.
How did you?
It was a holiday questionnaire instead of according to a recent survey.
Oh, I see.
See, I did. It was a holiday questionnaire.
Frantic
Pay
work
attention.
over at the trivia headquarters.
That's right.
I'm changing it up.
That's right. Half the people, or 50%, said they had never done this during the holidays.
Right, and it's
we
something.
Want to know what it is.
Yeah, and it's not. I will say it is something that if you watch a lot of say Hallmark movies.
Oh, it's It's more than 50% we're doing
this. Happens. It's something that's often associated with the holidays.
Magical.
But do people really do this? Yeah. Not many.
So here, Renee said, "Go caroling."
Sure.
Now, as far as people going door to door caroling, I don't think ever maybe once when I was a kid,
right,
somebody came to our door and it was our next door neighbor and her friends,
right,
and Christmas caroled.
We have
and they weren't very good.
There are regular. They went and Christmas carol this year, like a week ago. There's a whole bunch of kids that did, and they did it last year too.
Now, do you tip the kids?
I wondered about that, but no.
Do you Venmo them?
I mean,
no,
that's what they would be like.
Just hit up my Venmo.
Right. Here's my QR code, kids. Right. That's my tip.
There you go.
Yeah, right. I it's funny. Did you see the Christmas Story Christmas? Which is
I did not. It's the
sequel
Ralphie
or whatever.
Was in it and everything.
And it was pretty good. I mean, it was fun. Not as good as the original, but still pretty funny. The funniest scene in the movie is when the Christmas carolers come to the door, and they sort of act like, if you remember Sebastian Maniscalco's bit about people coming to the door, how everyone's like, hide! Turn off the lights. They're hiding. Yeah, it was a pretty funny scene. Anyway, it's not carolers.
I do that when people try to sell me new windows or gutters.
Okay. See, maybe those companies should disguise them as carolers and just say 50% off.
That would be fun. Sat on Santa's lap. Now, when you think about that, these days especially, I mean, first you have your COVID, which was okay. Stand over there, Santa will,
right.
But
and then
in normal times, going to sit on
what was it ever
lap,
normal times? But yes, I know what you mean.
My kids did did this very young, take him to see Santa. First, my older son, he just cried the whole time and just couldn't even get the picture.
Right.
Because that's what it's about. It's about the picture. And then after that, when you get to be like 8 and you're going to go sit on Santa's lap, I've always felt like it was weird. Sitting on this guy's lap telling him what you want for Christmas.
Right.
It's a little weird.
Especially once the kids get to the age where they realize this is not Santa. This is just some can of beer.
You're not the same guy that was at the mall.
You smell funny. You smell like my Uncle Bob.
Booze and cigars. Kevin said traveled. Jeff said bought wrapping paper.
Right.
It's another thing you think about, and it's like, hey, I'm buying this so people can rip it up and throw it away.
That's true. That's why you buy it the day after Christmas when it's all cheap. Cousin Jeff said drink eggnog.
Yeah. Just the sound of the word nog makes me not want to drink it.
Right. I like eggnog.
To each their own.
I just do.
Stuck to a diet, said Lisa.
Well, you're not sticking to your diet if you're drinking
Sent
eggnog.
Christmas cards.
Right.
So, yeah, that is one of those things. Half the people will do it, half won't. Sometimes you don't have time. Sometimes you forget. Sometimes you say, I don't want to pay the man for the postage.
It seems like that's kind of fallen by the wayside. We never did it, but we used to get many, many more from others, and now we don't really.
Let me take you off our
I
list.
think you did.
No Christmas cards.
So, went looking at Christmas lights. Now, I remember doing that with the kids.
Sure, you drive
when
around.
they're younger.
And then you say, boy, look how the work that guy put in.
Right.
They must have hired somebody. Those kind of things.
Right. And there would be a time we put the kids and you go down Heinz Drive.
Right.
Where they have the lights, the
light
whole
display.
thing. Yeah. And then, but more than half the time it would be blocked because of flooding. Because somebody spilled a Pepsi and so they had to close Heinz Drive.
Heinz Drive's closed, and then they charge you to do that too.
Right. Well, there's that. Yeah.
Decorated outside the house with lights, doing your own work.
Great Scott said, put money in the red kettle for Salvation Army.
That is a good guess, because I think some people, nowadays it's even tougher, but they've probably got the visa right there.
I don't know that they do. I mean, and that's the thing when you go in and out. I mean, we talk about the QR code with the, tipping the carolers. I'm like, I suspect they might get more if they had some ability to just like tap your phone. But anyway, it's not that, but that's a good guess.
Madonna said regifted. I think it's more than 50% of regifted.
Yeah,
I'm just guessing. Yeah.
Roasted chestnuts. Now, that's not the answer.
No.
But it's a good guess, and it's kind of along the lines of our answer in terms of it's a traditional thing that you always associate with Christmas, but who really does this?
What year is it? 1827? Where we're roasting chestnuts at an open fire?
What is
Who
it?
does
Is
that?
it the end of days? Has civilization collapsed and we got to roast chestnuts? No.
First of all, you have to find the chestnuts.
And then, have you ever had a roasted chestnut?
I have not.
They're gross.
What does a chestnut look like? If it doesn't look like a pistachio or a cashew,
It's hard to
forget it.
describe. I don't know. I just rather have a cashew things.
Whitney said shop for themselves. Yeah, that's one of those things. Sometimes you're out buying gifts for other people and you go, I like that.
Well, sure.
I'll buy that for me. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll wrap it and unwrap it.
Yeah. I'm so surprised by the thing I bought for me. Beth says chop down your own Christmas tree. Go to like a Christmas tree farm and you pick.
You do the work.
I mean, if you can pick it, man, you're strong.
Well, that's how it is nowadays. They don't have enough help, so you got to go cut your own tree down.
Right, but some people like to do that.
No, that's
part of the charm.
Experience. Yes, that you would see in a Hallmark
It's like
movie.
picking blueberries.
Like those two that meet at a tree, and one guy's gonna get it.
No, it's my tree.
A woman was gonna get it.
Let's share it.
Yeah. Let's date. Have some eggnog. Pamela said stay home.
Right.
Karen said don't decorate at all.
Sally says wear matching jammies.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that is kind of
right.
We used to have Christmas brunch in jammies. And I was like, all I have is sweats. And then they got me the flannel pants that said I love bacon, and life has been good since then.
Debbie says eat Chinese food on Christmas Day. Something that my Hebraic tribe certainly subscribes to.
Some Chinese.
That is a tradition. Yes.
Let's see what else. Watch Christmas movies.
Linda says snooped for their presents.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid.
More than 50% have done that. Come on.
Yeah. Especially as a kid.
And
if
then
you're doing that as an adult, we might need to have a conversation.
And as you get older, like when you're a really young kid and you find the presents, usually you give it up that you found them, and then mom or dad moves them or whatever. Once you get to a certain age where you're smart enough to know, like, okay, don't say anything. I know they're here.
Yeah. What if you found it and it wasn't what you wanted?
Right.
That's the bummer part. Because then,
well, it's the spirit of
that's right.
It's the thought that counts.
Katie says eating fruitcake.
Yeah, no thanks.
Nope. Let's see. Any other?
Listen to holiday music. You kind of can't.
You know what? I honestly really haven't tuned in anywhere to specifically listen.
But you can't avoid it. I mean, if you go in stores, they're playing.
See, now if I go in a store and I hear it, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Right.
If I'm downstairs working out, I really am not putting on, Little Saint Nick.
Right. Watch the parade, says Pamela.
Yeah. Some people like that.
Yeah, we watched the parade.
Yeah, we did.
In Fowlerville. Great
We
parade.
emceed a parade.
We did parade.
How about that?
Or we emceed the parade.
Susie said, had any fun? Some people, the holidays are dreadful.
Well, that's true. Yeah. But some people, you just want to go lighten up Francis.
Pat said bake cookies.
Right. Our answer. Now, somebody did correctly guess
a couple
it.
of people got it. It was kiss under the mistletoe.
Right.
See, now in junior high, that was when you found some mistletoe and you're trying to snag that kiss.
Now, wait, they put up mistletoe in your junior high?
No, we brought it with us.
I was going to say. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, because now there'd be lawsuits and
exactly. Oh, that's my and now you can't have that sexual harassment
in the workplace. Yeah, you'd be in HR.
Yeah, you can't bring the mistletoe to work.
I remember in the '90s, I think they even sold it. It was like a halo thing you wore on your head and it had a piece of mistletoe. It was like this, so you could walk up to people. Hey, you're under the mistletoe.
Okay, creepo.
I'm a predator. Thanks, Ronco. It's the Ronco Predator.
If you don't want to kiss me under the mistletoe, see me at the mall. I'll be Santa. You can sit on my lap.
Yeah. So good guesses, but yes, it was.
Kiss under the mistletoe.
Kiss under.
And I'm sure in maybe one or two Hallmark movies there was a moment under the mistletoe. Probably a little bit of snow falls right at the right time.
Right.
Out in the square by the ice rink.
Oh, it's always snowing.
Sure.
Yeah. Even though they're in Georgia.
Sure. Oh, it's a Christmas miracle. Right. There's a mistletoe, and I fell in love, and there's snow.
Oh, so wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
What about that next story where she falls in love with Santa at the mall?
Maybe.
I love mall Santa.
I'm surprised they don't have that.
You never know.
All right. Trivia brought to you by real estate agent Tanya Zirkle, sold by Tanya Z. Find her online, soldbytanyaz.com.
I want to thank Firehouse Doors for being our OG sponsor. They're almost 25 years of serving Livingston County.
January 1st, turn it over, and it'll be 25
2
years.
weeks.
Their silver anniversary, of course. Serving Livingston County residents. We're family-owned. They strive to treat each customer like family. Veteran-owned. Mike Witt, a proud U.S. Air Force veteran. They're, of course, your one-stop shop for residential, commercial, and rolling steel overhead doors. RSODs.
There you go.
And for the past 21 years, they've been Livingston County's only authorized distributor for CHI overhead doors. Call Firehouse Doors today, 810-599-7480.
It's time for the Less You Know with Rich Perlberg.
Let's learn less.
And we should change his name to Les Perlberg. The Less You Know with Rich.
Yeah.
Or the Rich You Know with Les.
Maybe we should be richer in knowledge? No.
We're never richer in knowledge. It's the less you know.
We always are less.
Yes.
What, you're talking about me already?
Yeah.
Of course. Were your ears ringing?
Yeah, well, I guess that's what
All right. You know what? Before we get into the less you know today, Rich, we were talking about our trivia question, which the answer was kiss under a mistletoe. 50% of people have never kissed under the mistletoe. Has Rich Perlberg ever gotten a smooch underneath the mistletoe?
I'm in that 50% that is not.
Right. It's one of those things that often gets associated with Christmas, but who really does this? I don't know.
I don't know that I've ever witnessed it, to be honest with you.
Well, look, like, you ran a workplace. If that happened in the workplace, you'd have to all right.
Allegedly,
yeah, right. All right, get HR on the phone. It can present problems.
Yeah, that was one of the things HR frowned on was was stringing up mistletoe
Right.
across the workplace. It just wasn't going to have a good ending.
Everyone's going to have to sign a consent form.
I don't have a hard time, I think, even recognizing mistletoe.
Well, that's true.
Isn't it just some part of a tree and you just hang it up and maybe put
Like
some
leaves.
silver on it or something?
Maybe it's like poison ivy.
Yeah, it's kind of prickly and it has some red berries or
Yeah,
something.
it's kind of
right?
holly and
It's holly.
Yeah. I don't know. No. So it's 50%. I'm surprised that the number's that high. Because
Right.
like I said, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Well, and the 50% that have, I'm wondering, like, was that pre-1990?
I just hung it from my car mirror. In high school, I just hung it from my car mirror. That way, I was guaranteed.
Oh, right,
kids
I
tonight,
see.
You know,
Right, okay.
So you got the guy walking around the workplace with a sprig of mistletoe in his pocket.
Right.
Yeah, a little worried about that.
That's a little creepy. So,
So yeah, I never did that.
all right, just to double check. All right. So we're talking recounts and we're recounting recounts. And
Well, I want to tell you something, and I hope this doesn't spoil the segment, but I actually did some research on it.
What? Come on, man.
you're putting in way more effort than needed.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a lot.
Okay, good. All right.
But I was kind of surprised that there were so many changes in the Heartland School Board election.
Right.
Yeah.
Where it ended up in a tie, and they had a drawing, which surprised a lot of people, but that's the way ties are broken in Michigan elections. And the loser of the drawing asked for a recount. And when they did the recount, they found that not only did the loser pick up votes, all 9 candidates picked up votes.
See, and that's the interesting part about that is that there was such a difference in the tallies.
And across all 9 candidates.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that the initial results, like you said, for the one seat were tied. And Greg Keller, the eventual winner, I mean, he asked for a recount. And, you know, if he had won by 1 or 2 or maybe half a dozen votes total, you'd be like, okay, well, all right. Sure. But, I mean, I think overall, I think it was 18 vote gain.
He did. Well, this is where I did research, and my numbers won't be exact here, but I did find it from a story that was on a news site called Mike and John Got It Going On.
Oh, God, you really didn't do any research, did you?
My research. And I think he picked up like 24, 25 votes, and the other candidate, the incumbent who won the draw, she picked up like 6 or 8 votes.
Right.
So the net gain was like around 18 votes.
Yeah.
But all 9 candidates picked up some. There were 9 candidates, and there were 3 seats open, so you could vote for up to 3. And that's what caused the problem. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I couldn't understand why would something as scientific as tabulators make so many mistakes, even if it was a relatively small number.
Well, and these are undervotes. I mean, in terms of
they discovered. I guess that would be the phrase.
right.
Undervotes.
They discovered additional votes. It wasn't that they discovered votes had been wrongly given to.
That's right.
It was that these votes were not tabulated for you.
So how does something like that happen? That's the question.
Well, here's the deal. Elizabeth Hunley, our county clerk, explained it. The fact is you could vote for up to 3. But if you vote for more than 3, the tabulator recognizes that and rejects the ballot. It's kind of like if you vote in a primary, if you vote for a Republican in one race and a Democrat in the other, you've invalidated your ballot.
Right.
But what happened in the manual recount was they discovered that in some cases, people had voted for 3 and then did a write-in candidate for some reason. But the write-in candidates weren't registered, so those shouldn't have counted as a vote, valid or otherwise.
I see.
Gotcha.
So the tabulator saw 4 votes and said, "Oh, we're rejecting that." But since one of the votes wasn't a real candidate, the manual one said, "Oh, we can count those," and that's why everybody picked up anywhere from 3 to 25 votes.
Okay.
So in that case, though, and I'm just throwing this out there, in that case, though, if you invalidated your own ballot by doing that write-in vote and adding a 4th candidate, whether that candidate's not valid or if they put Santa Claus and voted for 3 other people, and you invalidated, why count those votes?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, you screwed it up yourself.
Right.
But that's apparently the way the law is written.
I think the law is written to, it is supposed to be, you're to try and determine the intent of the voter, and if they did not legally invalidate their ballot. In other words, if the law does not specify that writing in a candidate, that putting in a write-in candidate is an invalidation, although it seems like it should be.
Yeah, if you're limited to 3.
It sounds like that's something where the law needs to be fixed, where you say...
Here's what I think.
Okay.
Years ago, you could do things. You could write in, like you said, Santa Claus or Mickey Mouse, and the poor clerks had to record all write-in votes and put them down. And they said, that's just a waste of time. That's silly. So to be a write-in candidate, you actually have to register as a write-in candidate. Otherwise, it doesn't count. But I kind of agree with the idea that if you purposely or inadvertently, through your own mistake, screw up your ballot, then it shouldn't count. But the way the law is written, I guess, is that you're limited to 3 valid votes as long as if there had been a registered write-in candidate and the person had written that name in addition to the other 3, that would have been invalid because there's no way to determine the intent. Which 3 did you want? But since the unregistered write-in candidate wasn't possible to be a legal vote, they say, well, we know that one can't count, and they voted for only 3 others, so we count those 3. I think that's the rationale.
Right.
It makes sense. It just, to me, I'm like, well, you screwed it up.
Yeah, you got to follow directions. It seems like they have to tighten up the rules there. I'm not disputing what the event. I understand why they made the tallies they did, and they did determine what the intent of the voters was, and that's what elections are about. And certainly, I would say the system worked in this instance.
Yeah, exactly. I would give it a lot of credit. I think it's important to have these laws and rules and guidelines set up ahead of time so that there's no individual biases taking place. Oh, I want this guy to win, so I'm going to count this vote. The rules are set up independently of that, and this Heller, what was the name of the guy who won? Greg Keller.
Greg Keller, yeah.
He was criticized for asking for the recount. Oh, it's just a waste of money. But no, he had every right to do that. It was a tie vote, and there can be, as we've seen.
I wonder if he had drawn the elected
winner or elected, yeah.
If he had drawn the elected card,
well, of course not. I don't think there's any.
No, he wouldn't have asked for the recount.
I don't think there's any requirement for the winner to ask for.
No, but would if Heemeyer, the incumbent, would Michelle Heemeyer? I mean, we don't know.
She objected to it when she won. I don't know if she would have objected to it.
Right. Now, she objected to it because the district has to pick up some of that cost. I mean, I think a minimum of $10,000 that the district has to dish.
And maybe there's a question. I just think the races are that close. It's like instant replay in football. I'm watching a team, and my team recovers a fumble. I don't want the replay to overrule that. But the fact is, you should get it right.
Right.
The goal in the election is, regardless of what you think of the candidates, shouldn't the person who gets the most votes win the election?
Right.
And so what's wrong with discovering that? I think the system worked well, and I know Stanley said that the tabulator was 99.97% accurate, which is usually a pretty good number. But it does show that in a close race, it's worth considering a recall.
And that, I think, is a good point to make about in a close race, as opposed to the other recount that's going on. Took place in Livingston County. It's taking place in counties across the state where they're recounting ballots for Props 2 and 3, which weren't close. Won by double digits, each of them. And the group that is asking that has petitioned for this recount, this election integrity force, I mean, the number of ballots they're counting would not change the outcome. It's clear that nothing is going to change the outcome. And what has come up during that recount process is that they're asking for the recount because they want to be able to open up the process so they can basically spew conspiracy theories and make unfounded accusations and other things. And that's not what the recount process is for.
No, it's a waste of time.
Right.
But
and money.
It's done just the opposite. In Livingston County, there were 17,000 votes recounted and 5 changes. I mean, it was like 0.00002%.
Right, and it was 5 more for the yes. And it was 5 more for the yes on Prop 3. That was the only one in Livingston County they were looking at.
But what was it? A 600,000 vote
Yeah, I mean, and they're not
trying to show that the system is
right, and this group, they've been training their challengers with incorrect information, telling them that they are allowed to look at both sides of the ballot. That is not true. They can only look at the side that has Prop 2 and 3. That's on the back side. And they're asking to look at the whole ballot because they want to reopen these other races and they want to question all these other. They want to basically say they want to spew conspiracy theories and open up and question and doubt. And so this is where nuance comes into this. And people generally sometimes not great at nuance. But I think where it's like where the system works when we're talking about this Heartland race, where there was a legitimate reason to recount the votes, and then look, lo and behold, it turns out that the will of the voters was not originally divined. This other recount, when it's clear that there is no reasonable reason to do this, I think there needs to be a more stringent barrier.
When you're looking at that big of a difference in the numbers of votes, then it just gets kind of crazy.
Right.
Well, it is crazy, and you're not even you're being kind when you say they don't recognize nuances. There's the fraud is from the people claiming fraud. I mean, if you remember after the presidential election, you had that long, ridiculous, what they call them, the ninja.
The audit ninjas or whatever the hell it is. Yeah.
Arizona's, and even they came out and said, no, everything it was right.
Right.
And then the backer said, see, we told you it was fraud. I mean, there's going to be no answer that satisfies the folks who are claiming fraud. And I find it interesting that Elizabeth Hunley, a leader in the county Republican Party, is talking about how great the system is. 97% accurate. She called them remarkable, which it is. And yet her state representative and state senator have both contributed to the fraud campaign. Both Ann Boland and Lana Tice. Atlanta signed her name to a letter that asked the Congress to delay the ratification.
Right. A letter signed on January 5th of 2021. Anyway,
all right.
So
let's not dig up old stuff. Let's move forward here.
I don't want to dig too deep into that. I just find it unfortunate that all the people who could have talked rationally about the election results helped to fuel the flames on that thing. And here we're seeing a system that, one, it shows how accurate it is, and two, it shows there is a system in place to correct problems.
Right.
The rare errors.
And the
system worked.
And that's the ultimate thing here, is that the system worked.
Wait a minute, I'm starting to learn something here.
So we better cut this off. All right, hold on.
If I learned something here, I don't know.
Hey.
I'm a little disappointed that you didn't put me on yesterday with Haywood Banks. I would have loved to. Then you would have learned something.
Well, you know what, Rich?
You can get a copy of
We're
Haywood
going to give
Banks'
you
latest CD.
We're going to send you a 2-pack Christmas gift of Haywood Banks CDs.
Has he got a mistletoe song on there?
Do you have the one about the ode to the pancreas?
I don't know if it's on one of those two. I think that's one of his real early ones. The one with toast.
I mean, I'm trying to explain to people the genius of toast, and unless they hear it, they can't understand.
Yeah,
No, that's true.
Yeah, you got to hear toast.
I will say one of the albums that we have here, it's a live one. He does have My Mother's Gigantic Brassiere.
Oh boy.
So that's on there.
That's a little bit too much information.
Sorry. Okay. Well, on that note.
All right. Well, Rich, as always, a pleasure, my friend.
Hey, good talking to you. Talk to you next week.
All right, take care. All right, Rich Perlberg and The Less You Know here on Mike and John Got It Going On. Don't forget, you can register to get your Mike and John daily newsletter update right to your inbox. Giggo News.
Oh, right.
You're looking at me like, what are you talking about?
I can do something else now?
Yes.
Oh, I'm already doing it. Right.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah.
All you do is go to mikeandjohnpodcast.com and you can sign up to get the news delivered to you. It comes out about every day around 5.
Yeah, right around 5 o'clock.
Around 5
We
o'clock.
do the latest
I get it.
headlines.
Ding, and there's the news.
And by the way, signing up for our newsletter is one of the ways that you can enter Mike and John's holiday Giggo holiday giveaway
With Cooper and Binkley Jewelers.
That's right. So your chance
How
to do
about
that.
that?
Yeah. Pretty snazzy, really.
Don't say snazzy.
I'm going to say snazzy.
It's not hip with the kiddos.
Yeah.
All right. Kiddos and snazzy.
I don't know where snazzy came from.
Snazzy's got to be like a Mickey Rooney thing from the 1930s. All right. Our 2-cent history lesson. Today is Bill of Rights Day.
Okay.
And as soon as I saw that, where did I go? To Capitol Hill. I'm just a Bill sitting on Capitol Hill. It's Cat Herders Day, too. Do not herd cats. Or is that horde cats? It's cat herders. Round up the cats, everyone. Snazzy?
It was originally used in 1932.
See? Told you. It wasn't Mickey Rooney.
Okay, yeah, you might be right.
Snazzy.
I thought it was a little bit later, but all right. We've determined that for you.
It's International Tea Day.
What kind of tea?
The kind they threw into the Boston Harbor.
Why, is this Tea Party Day?
No, it's just National Tea Day, but, they threw tea into the harbor. Right. That's a waste of tea.
No, that was the point. Oh, yeah?
You're not taxing my tea.
Throw your tea. We're going to throw it in the harbor.
Yeah.
Tax this, buddy.
We're polluting it.
Tax this, fella. And Boston Harbor, by the way, has been polluted ever since.
And it's National Lemon Cupcake Day. Huh. That's the last one left in the tin. The lemon one.
I like lemon ones.
No, you got chocolate.
Red velvet, no, those are good. If you go to Torch 180, they've got those lemon bars. Those are super good.
Just not a lemon kind of
Okay,
guy.
well, to each their own. That's why we live in this country. That's why they threw that tea in that harbor, fella. So that you would have the choice to say, I don't want a lemon cupcake.
And I'd toss it in Boston Harbor. And I'd have my lemon cupcake party.
Oh, wait, it's like lemon tea.
Would you like tea? Would you like lemon with your tea?
It's like the Nestea Plunge.
Yes. All right. 2-cent history lesson brought to you by Oakland Insurance.
Right.
December 15th, 1836. The patent office in the U.S. burned. All the patents that were in that building up in flames. They didn't back it up anywhere.
Where's our backup?
Like, I had a patent for that somewhere. Oh, well. Yeah. You're screwed. Somebody else.
No, you don't. Yeah. And then somebody comes in. Yes, I'm the one that invented the whatever it was. That was me.
The old whatchamacallit.
Yeah, the old whatchamacallit. What year was this?
It was 1836.
Oh, okay. They didn't have anything.
Invented jacks.
They didn't have anything.
There wasn't much around.
I mean,
where you needed a patent.
I invented the ball.
So on this day in 1874, the United States received its first visit by a king.
Ooh.
King Kamehameha of Hawaii. Kamehameha.
Right.
Kamehameha.
And to repay that kindness, we dethroned them and took over their country.
That's right.
You're welcome. Colonialism.
King visited President Grant.
Yes.
Not to be confused with Lou Grant.
No.
Lou Grant received a visit from John King.
That's true.
Not King Kamehameha of Hawaii.
I wouldn't ask for John.
No. 1939, Gone with the Wind premiered in Atlanta on this day.
Frankly, my dear, okay, you know.
What if he would have said, "I don't give a crap"? You think that might have had, the give a damn thing was like,
no.
Oh,
yeah, it was kind of a, yeah. I wonder if Clark Gable would have just been like, the hell with you. Just walk away.
You're high maintenance.
The hell with you.
Scarlett.
Yeah,
you're too much. You're high maintenance, man. 1952, America's Christine Jorgensen became the first person to make her sex change public.
Right. And
people were talking then. Before a woman, she served in the Army for 2 years as George.
Wasn't...
It was 1952.
I understand that, but Christine Jorgensen, I thought, wasn't she like a professional tennis player? Do I remember that right?
No, that was Renee.
You're right.
Renee something.
Renee Richards?
Renee Richards.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
See, now that
was later.
I remember that because I was a kid when
later.
that happened.
Yeah. Okay.
But 1952.
That was in the 70s.
I may be old, but 1952 wasn't. Yeah. I was not around.
Okay.
Rod Stewart, 1990, married New Zealand model Rachel Hunter in Beverly Hills.
How you doing?
I'm fine. Stewart was quoted as saying at the time, I found the girl He may have said hubba
I'm gonna
hubba.
look up hubba hubba.
Hubba hubba. Stewart was quoted at the time saying, "I found the girl that I want.
Oh,
I won't be pulling my banana and I won't be putting my banana in anybody else's fruit bowl."
what now? Where? What? I do believe that Rod is parking his fruit somewhere else now.
I
I
found
don't
the girl
think
that I want. I won't be putting my banana in anyone's
Yes.
fruit bowl from now on. Until they split in 1990 and he's found another fruit bowl.
Right. Hubba Hubba, by the way, goes back to the 1940s.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like
yeah.
it's probably a Bowery Boys movie.
So-
Hubba Hubba.
Bowery Boys. Watching Bill Kennedy.
The Bowery Boys. Meet Marilyn Monroe. Hubba Hubba. 1995, after a 36-year ban, Playboy went back on sale in Ireland.
Oh, well,
The Irish were smiling then, weren't they?
sure they were.
They didn't have to go overseas to get a Playboy. Get it mailed in a brown paper bag. No more Playboy smuggling
Yeah.
into Ireland. Get a bag of potatoes and a couple Playboy.
Hey! Is Playboy even still around? I don't think they print the magazine.
I wouldn't know, John. 1999, Boy George was knocked unconscious when a mirror ball fell on his head during a show in England. He was in the middle of "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me?"
Somebody did, apparently. Well, the mirror ball.
And finally, 2001, the Leaning Tower of Pisa reopened after 11 years. $27 million to fortify without fixing its famous lean. Because you can't be called the Leaning Tower of Pisa unless you're
Right.
leaning. But they had to fix it. So it was leaning just right. Maybe the lean was a little too far.
Perfect!
All right, just pull a little that way.
So,
$27 million.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, have you seen that? It's a big building. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
can't just put a
Why
block
didn't they
in there,
flatten the
you know?
ground to begin with and just call it the Tower of Pisa?
Yeah. Well,
in the beginning.
Look,
It
would
was
we
like-
even know about this thing if they hadn't leaned it? If it hadn't
wasn't
been
leaning?
built wrong?
Yeah, I guess.
It's just put a 2x4.
The slouching Tower of Pisa. That's your 2 cent history
Yeah.
lesson.
So there is a Playboy.com.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
I
But
don't.
if you
I'm
go there,
gonna hit.
it's like it doesn't have the it's got like a bunch of lingerie
Yeah,
ads,
15% off.
gear,
Just in time
ads
for the holidays.
and things like that. So you can buy all kinds of gear. But I notice up here in the corner,
Yeah.
it has Playboy not safe for work. Let's click this.
Oh, HR's all over us.
Wow.
That seems safe enough.
Check out the mistletoe. Oh, sorry.
I think Rod Stewart's found another place to put his banana.
Research.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's
All
your
right.
2 cent history lesson brought to you by Drew Goebel and Oakland Insurance.
And Frankenmuth Insurance, of
That's
course,
true.
Michigan-based. They providing the peace of mind you need. They believe the best relationships are honest, upfront, and fair, right?
That's right. If you want to be frank about insurance, let's talk. Talk to Drew Goebel.
Right.
He'll be Drew and Frank at the same time.
Right.
Oakland Insurance, 248-647-2500.
Right. Or if it's Frank Burns from MASH, you could be nice. It's nice to be nice to the people that are nice.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's what Frank would say.
That's what he would say.
Thanks, Drew Goebel, for sponsoring your 2 cent history lesson. We learn a little something each and every day, whether you want to or not.
Right. We avoid it as best we can.
We learned that John likes lemon cupcakes and that I would throw them in the Boston Harbor.
I like the lemon bars at Torch 180. I wouldn't turn down a lemon
Then
cupcake.
why are you even throwing that in on
Well,
lemon
I'm just
cupcake
saying,
day?
if that was the you said it was the last one in the tin, and I'm like, I'd eat it. I mean, if there's nothing else to choose from, I'll eat it, sure.
We saved it just for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so, all right, there you go. All right, now what?
Here's one. I'm going to ask you ask one more question
Uh-oh.
for tomorrow night or tonight's trivia question.
Thursday
which will
night
be
trivia.
TNT.
Yeah, Thursday night trivia.
Do we have any gift certificates left from Murphy's Family
We
Auto?
do, as a matter of fact.
I'm putting one up for grabs.
All
A
right.
$50 gift certificate from Murphy's Family Auto, just in case you need to get your car ready for the season.
Right, it's almost
things checked
almost
out.
winter, you know.
It is. Winter's
Is
on.
it
It's
the
like
21st or something?
It's like
22nd?
6 days away.
Yeah, when is the equinox or
It's the Equinox is in a parking lot in the GM lot.
Or maybe
Murphy's
sitting
Family
in
Auto,
the-
specializing in car and truck care, getting you ready for the season. Heating and cooling needs, brakes, electrical services. Call 517-552-3040. They're even open on Saturdays from 8 to 1. We'll have a chance for you to win a gift certificate from Murphy's in trivia tonight.
for your Equinox or any other vehicle you may have. Winter solstice, by the way, coming next Wednesday, December 21st at 4:47 p.m.
Solstice, that's an old Pontiac.
Was that?
It was a little two-seater. Yep.
Was it?
Pontiac Solstice. Saturn had the.
I mean,
It was kind of a cool little sports car.
Yeah, there it is.
Solstice.
Yeah, you're right.
Saturn had a version.
That's
I
not too
forget
bad.
what it was.
It's a little snazzy.
Maybe we should get one of those as a Mike and John mobile.
Yeah.
It's kind of, if you
know
get
what?
a dark one, it looks like a Batmobile.
You will get the Equinox that we'll use in the fall.
When we're saying kiddos.
Yeah. Then in the winter we'll switch over to the solstice.
Because the Equinox is snazzy. The solstice is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one's the hubba hubba?
I think the solstice gets the hubba hubba.
All right.
The Equinox gets the sassy.
I'm sure it
snazzy.
does.
Have you ordered your McNightlight yet?
Yeah, I
for the
got two.
holidays?
I got two right
Awesome.
here.
Actually, I'm going to take one of those.
Which one?
The one without our picture on
Oh,
it.
okay. You don't want your picture lighting up your hallway?
No.
Or is it you don't want my picture lighting up your hallway?
I did not say anything,
Okay.
did I?
He's
I
like,
just said I'm taking another picture.
I see enough of him. Of course, we're talking about McNightlights.com. Of course, a great, unique gift. You can just go there, upload a photo of a loved one, favorite pet, cherished memory, and they'll turn it into a high-quality 3D nightlight.
They will even do Rory the Lion for you.
They will.
Yes, if you're a big Lions fan and see him going to the playoffs, I want to light up your hallway, your bathroom.
That's true.
Your bedroom.
Using high-quality liquid resin on their 3D printer at McNightlights.com. Just $20 for one, $15 after that for each. And if you buy 4 or more, it is free shipping. We're getting close to Christmas, so if you want to do pickup and have them ready to go under the tree, a great, unique gift.
You could even get mistletoe lit up.
You could do that.
How about that?
McNightlights.com. Check it out.
All right, you were doing so good, and I had to check it out.
What do you mean?
Check it out. Funk soul, brother.
All right. Well, I guess it's time to close this up.
Yes, it is.
Mike and John got it going on. You've been giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.
Okay.
Post show. Are we on page 7?
I don't know.
The next page.
Yeah, I never numbered these
in
pages.
the story.
Should have numbered them.
No, you're saving ink.
Okay, sure. All right, so where we last left
Why
off.
do some books have page numbers and others do not?
I don't know.
Is that
Well-
the budget one? Is that why?
No.
You want budget? You want low budget?
Didn't
You
think of
think they needed numbers?
I don't think that's going to put me over budget to number the pages. Think of it.
You know what?
It's not like it's a novel.
It's a
I mean,
number your own.
It's a kid's book. I mean,
You let the kids write the numbers on the pages.
that's probably
That's what the thought.
where we last left off.
Yeah. Where were we?
Ishkadoodle and Broomy had realized they were inside the rocket as it was blasting off.
They were stowaways.
That's right. Yes, they were.
A boy in his vacuum.
Right.
Headed to the moon.
Right.
All right. Where are we at?
TSA came and took him into custody. Oh, no, sorry. All right. The box began to shake and rumble until the lid fell off. Now Ishkadoodle could see that 2 astronauts were busy at the controls. They didn't even notice him. That's him tumbling out of the box.
No one will notice me falling out of
No.
this box.
With my vacuum cleaner. Up went the spaceship.
Hubba hubba, they say.
Soon the bright blue sky gave way to the deep dark of outer space. Ishkadoodle began to feel funny. Something was different. He was floating. Then he remembered reading that in outer space, people become weightless as gravity disappears. Gravity is the force that keeps people and things on the ground back on Earth.
Gravitate, come on.
That's okay. Okay.
We're in the Mike and John space pod.